Hello guys, in this video we're going to go over a couple of examples from your classwork. Now before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys all know that you guys are going to be needing a calculator for this. Now there are a couple calculators that I recommend. The one that I'll be using is going to be the Wabyte MU, but you can also go ahead and use one that is called Calculator X. So calculator, that's supposed to be an R, calculator X, or sometimes it comes out to calculator X84 and it's free. If you are using that one, you have to go ahead and set it up so that you're able to use it. So I'll go ahead and teach you how to do that. So on my calculator, if you notice, I have two different answers. So I have 2 times cosine of 45 is equal to 1.41, and I also have 2 times cosine of 45 is equal to 1.05. So right now, that's what I'm getting. I don't want the answer to be 1.05 because that answer is wrong. That's in radians. So what I have to do is I have to go ahead and go to mode, and then I have to go down to the third one. And if you're using calculator X, this is the same setup. You go to degree, you click enter, and then you clear, and now it should work now. So you can go ahead and test it. 2 times cosine 45, and it's equal to 1.41. So hopefully that helps. Now let's go on with the problems. So the first couple of questions are just basic information. And then here, although this says problem number 4, in reality that's your first question. Now you have to go ahead and read the directions so you guys can know what to do. Select the function that you used and then use that column to select the answer that you got. So you have to make sure that you specify what function you used. Now if you don't remember what are the functions, you can go ahead and write it down. So it's going to be so, ka, toa. And in this case, we are giving two things. So we are giving this x and this 18. So our goal is to figure out how are they related to the angle that I have here. So how are they related to 34? So what I have to do is go ahead and look at this angle, 34. Well, x is related to 34 because it's opposite to it. So I have to do OPP. And now, if you remember, what's always opposite to the 90-degree angle? Well, that's going to be the hypotenuse. So this is the hypotenuse, and then the 18 is going to be my adjacent, right? So the 18 is adjacent. So 18 is adjacent to my angle 34. So now I have to go ahead and think. So the two sides that I'm given are opposite and adjacent. So what does that those two, so that will be OA or AO depending on which one comes first. So now in this case, which one has that? So this one, no. How about this one? Does it have OA? No. So it's actually the third one being TOA. So it's tangent, the one that you have to use. And actually AO you're not going to use because it's not there. So in this case, the function that we have to use is tangent. So we have to write, let's see, let's click black, tangent, and then the angle is 34 is equal to, well, what is it equal to? It's TOA, right? So it's O first, so opposite, so there's going to be X over 18, right? Because the adjacent is 18. And then from here, you have to go ahead and solve it. So how would you solve this? What would you do to both sides? You would go ahead and do what? You multiply by 18 on both sides because you want to get rid of the number underneath the x. Remember, our goal is to have x by itself. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to the other side. These two cancel out. This is going to give me 18 times tangent of 34 is equal to x. And this is going to give me my answer. So this is what I have to put into the calculator. So let's move it over here. We have to put, let's see, where's my cursor? 18. Oh, let's click here. 18 times tangent 34, and then close parentheses, is equal to 12.14. So it's going to be 12.14 is equal to x. I round it off to the second decimal place, so that's going to be here. Look at this one, so it's going to be 12.1 is equal to x. So as a summary, so what function did we use? We used tangent. So that means that I have to go to the tangent section and then select the answer that I got. So I got 12.1. So I would go ahead and check that one. And you leave the others blank. And now you move on to the next problem. So let's do another example. So number 5, but in reality this is question number 2. Like I said before, you always start by writing your SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. And now the two that were given are the x and the 18. And we have to figure out how are they related to the 67 that I have here. So how are they related to this? So first of all, x is what? X is opposite to the 67. So this will be my opposite. And now, in this case, 68 is also adjacent to 67, but it is also the hypotenuse. So in reality, that's going to be our hypotenuse, right? Because it's opposite to the 90-degree angle. And the one in the bottom, the one that we're not given, is going to be our adjacent. So always do those two first. Always use the opposite and the hypotenuse. And then afterwards, if you need it, you can go ahead and find the adjacent. So, okay. So what function uses OH? So we're interested in OH. So which one has OH? That's going to be the first one. The first one being sine. So SOH. That's the one we're going to use. So this is going to become sine, or abbreviated as sin, 67. And remember, O, that means opposite. So let's write it down. Opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 67 is equal to opposite. Well, the opposite is x, and my hypotenuse is 18. And then from here, I'll go ahead and let you guys finish that one off. So what do you think you have to do to both sides? If you answered multiply by 18 on both sides, then you are correct. And then afterwards, what you would have to do is go ahead and put that in the calculator. I'm not going to go ahead and do everything. I want you to go ahead and try it by yourself. But we are going to do another example. Alright, so again, this one's not finished. You have to multiply both sides by something, right? By what? By the 18. And then you follow the same step that you got here. So you will get this step basically afterwards. Alright, so let's see this one. This one's similar to the last two, so I'm not going to do that one. Let's do one that's a little bit harder. Okay, this one. So we start off by writing our SOHCAHTOA. And now you have to figure out, well, first of all, let's figure out the hypotenuse first. So which one's the hypotenuse? Is that going to be this one, or this one? Well, it's the one that's opposite to the 90-degree angle, right? So opposite to this, so that will be this one. So that's the hypotenuse. And now how is 17 related to my 57? Well, it's not opposite to it. It is adjacent, right? It is not opposite, it is adjacent. So this is ADJ. So the two that we are using are A and H. We are not using O because we don't know what O is, right? So that's why we're not using O. We're only interested in A and H. So AH, that would correspond to cosine, so we're going to use co. So this is going to be cosine of 57 is equal to, now which one goes first? Which one goes first? The A goes first. So does that mean that I'm going to put the X or the 17? Which one's the A? The A is the 17, so the 17 goes first. Now notice that this is different from the last two examples that I did. On the last two examples that I did, my X was on top, right? But in this case, I have my X in the bottom because it doesn't go first, it goes afterwards. In this case, my X is the hypotenuse. So this is going to be my X. And now this is actually going to be a little bit different, but you do the same steps. So what do we need to multiply both sides by? Well, looking at my previous examples, I went ahead and I multiplied by the denominator, right? So I multiplied, the denominator was 18, so I would have to multiply by 18. And then in this one, my denominator is 18, so I would have to multiply both sides by 18. And in this one, what's my denominator? My denominator is X. So that means that I have to multiply both by X. So it's going to be X, this is going to be X. Now these two are going to cancel out. So we have X times cosine of 57 is equal to 17. And now here, do I have X by itself? No, you have to do an extra step. You have to get rid of the cosine 57. So to get rid of the cosine 57, you have to go ahead and divide both sides by cosine 57. So remember, because anything divided by itself is 1. So cosine 57. So these two cancel out. My answer is going to be X is equal to whatever 17. So let's do that here. $17. Oh, it's not on. Okay, 17 divided by cosine 57. So X equal to 31.27. So when you round this off, this is bigger than 5, so it's going to be X is equal to 31 point, wait, let me check that again. Oh, this is not 7, it's supposed to be a 1. So 21, so 31.2. And I used cosine, so it's going to be cosine, and then 31.2 is here, so I would go ahead and check that one. Well, I hope this helped. If you have more questions, you guys can go ahead and email me or send me a message through your mind, and I'll try to help you as much as I can. And that's pretty much it. Bye, guys.